Hello everyone, NecroVMX here. Welcome to my channel, and you are listening to POTATOCAST. So, yeah, it actually hasn't been that long since the last POTATOCAST. It's only been 11 days, and here we are again with another POTATOCAST, where I'm not going to be a super long one. This one's really more of an announcement one. I think some of you guys can probably saw this one coming, and hell, you already saw the title, so you kind of know what the deal is, but I'll be talking about that, answering your questions and comments first. So let's go with that. So Zachary Antle says, you got a Discord, dude. I'd love to join. I've been watching you for a long time. Plus, I'm writing a story about the game industry, so it'd be so helpful to pick your brains a bit. Lol. Yeah. I mean, I already know that you did come by and you did pick my brains a bit and helped you out as best that I could, to the best of my knowledge, at least. So I hope I was helpful on that one. Let's see. Heisensol. It's a nice long one. He says, hashtag potato. First of all, I want to say that it's awesome that you're making an audio drama. I already can't wait to listen to it. It's going to be a while, man. This is going to be a long project to work on, and hey, maybe you can be a part of it. Just come by the Discord, and you'll see what's up. Actually, and just to give an update on that, I'm going to continue with your comment, of course, but here's Gibbs shaking it off. Just to give you an update on that real fast. The cast list is completed, and that is a pinned message as a Google Doc that you can look at by going to the Discord. Links in the description of all my videos now. And all you have to do is just click on the Sanctus Mortem Audio Play channel, and there are two things that are pinned there, and they're both Google Doc links. One is the first chapter of the screenplay, and the other is the cast list, so you should definitely check that out. And when I say cast list, by the way, I don't mean like this is the character and this is who's playing them. It's just a list of the characters and a brief description of them. We haven't begun the casting process yet, but we will be once the screenplay is probably more like when it's done, you know, to be honest with you. But it's going to be a long process. But I get the same thing from Tanya. She's like, oh, I can't wait to listen to it. And I'm like, well, you can wait because it's going to be a while, but you know, I did share the first, before I even put it on Discord, I shared the first chapter of the screenplay with Tanya and with a few other people, and everybody was digging on it pretty well so far, you know. So there you go. So let's continue your comment. Secondly, as far as my father goes, he died of coronary artery disease that was brought on by I think you mean by, congestive heart failure. He was also having serious problems with his kidneys where he wasn't peeing. That's definitely a serious issue. I'm sure this played into his mental state, but like I said, when he was in the last month of his life, it wasn't the man I knew, and it really sucked. But I also said I don't want to have a lot of negativity in my life after he passed. As far as having mental issues, you're probably right. To make a long story short, everything would go back to when he was a kid and how he perceived that his father had mistreated him. He would often use language of someone who was spoiled when he was pissed off about something, like something of his was lost, and he would say, why is it always my stuff that gets lost, or some bullshit like that. Now, I want to be clear, it wasn't always bad times. It's just stuff that stuck out to me, and until the end, he and I had a great relationship. I want to thank you for listening to this. It's very therapeutic. Well, you actually wrote therapeutic, but I know what you meant. For me to get this out about my dad, and maybe it can help someone who see this. I saw that you had a video of Bobby playing Doom and Wolfenstein 3D. Are there any other classics you had planned for him to play? I think those videos are a lot of fun to watch. By the time you're able to answer this, I hope all is well, and take care, man. Yeah, the next video that I want to do with Bobby, and I don't know when that's going to be at all, because when I'm able to have him over here and have some time to do a video like that, it's you know, completely up in the air when that's going to happen. He was on a week off from school, and you know, that's why we were able to do those videos. But the next one that I want to do is Quake. I do want to have him play the original Quake. And that's sort of like the id Software first-person shooter holy trinity right there. Wolfenstein, Doom, and Quake. So, there you have it. Thanks for enjoying those videos and everything. Dan P. says, just sent you a DM on Discord. Okay, that's fine. The Game Master 8. Oh, wait, this might be a long one. Let me... it's okay. All right. Hey, Necro, I took you up on your offer and joined your Discord, though I did so after you signed off for the night. Yeah, sometimes that happens. But there's lots of people in there. I have my mods, T-Sparkle99 on Aerobase. Aerobase is my best friend, AJ. So they're always looking after things, and my regulars are usually in there, Dr. Barrel and Chris Collett and, a few other people that have different time zones like to be there at night. So it's not only active when I'm there, but let's just read what you have to say here. Of course, it sounds to me like you've been pretty busy man as of late. Games, plays, acting. You trying to become the next Takeshi Kitano? Jokes aside, best of luck on your endeavors. I actually do not know who that is. I'm going to be honest with you. I don't know who Takeshi Kitano is, and I'm about to Google him. Oh, let's find out who this is. All right, he's a comedian, he's a television personality, a director, an actor, an author, and a screenwriter. Sounds like he just about did it all, huh? Wow. Okay. Wait a minute. Is this the guy that had the game on... was it Takeshi's Challenge? Was that his game? Let me just type that in. I know it was some guy's challenge. Yes, it was. He had that game on the NES where the game was basically trolling you. Okay, now I know who it is. All right, let's continue with your comment. As for the Soldier Boy console, he tried selling a bunch of Chinese knockoff systems with his name plastered on them, loaded with Nintendo, Sega, and Sony ROMs, and actually brought in some sales before Nintendo sent him a C&D and threatened to report him for violating the Trademark Counterfeit Act. I just want to say that I've heard a little bit more about this since then, and I think he's still trying to do this. Like, the latest news I heard was that his consoles were, sold out on the website. So as far as I know, the guy's still doing this. It's amazing. He says, trust me, read up on the whole thing. I have here. It was, as I mentioned before, a circus of stupidity, to be sure, with some pretty funny results. One of which is that his website, soldiergame.com, now redirects to 3DS section of Nintendo's US website. Does it do that? Let me see. Because that's not what I was reading. Oh, yeah, it does. Wow. Huh, hold on a second. Because the last that I had heard, which was just a few days ago... Oh, yeah. Okay, so he basically... So he's axed the Nintendo thing now, and now he's trying to put out this other, game console that looks suspiciously like a PlayStation Vita. So... Yeah, he may have, and that's the one that I had heard that was sold out on his website. Of course, he might be selling 3 of them, and that's why they were sold out. Who knows what this guy's up to? Anyway, again, best of luck to you on your play, and hope your parents had a great vacation. Take it easy, Necro. The whole vacation thing is interesting because they came back, and it seemed like they were pretty disappointed with the whole experience. They always go to a sandals resort, and I guess this particular sandals resort in the Bahamas was not nearly up to par compared to the ones that they had been to in Jamaica and in St. Lucia. And they were actually kind of annoyed with the way that the resort handled things and the way they were treated. I mean, I'm still glad that they went on the vacation, but especially since my dad's health is pretty poor right now. Hopefully, we're hoping he's going to bounce back when he starts on this new medication that he's going to be starting soon. But with his health being pretty poor, I'm glad they got to go to the Bahamas. But it seemed like they were pretty. They came back more tired than anything. Stephen Blocker says a radio drama type play. Oh yeah, I did one of those in my theater class in high school. We did Superman, I think. Anyway, I'll look into doing it. It seems like a kind of a fun idea. Well, all you have to do as I've said before, to be involved is join the Discord server and check it out on there. And you can message me on there. And by the way, I don't discourage people from sending me DMs on Discord, but I'd prefer that unless it's something you really want to be private, that you use one of the chat channels. But definitely, if it has to do with the Sanctus Mortem audio play, I definitely want you to use the Sanctus Mortem audio play channel, because it's just easy to keep track of all the messages without me having to go into DMs to look for things. I'm trying to keep this as organized as possible. So, yeah. Let's see. And finally, Dragonheart64 says, whoa, this is the longest comment ever. Wow, dude. All right, well, I'm not complaining at all, but holy shit, Taki mushrooms, dude. Let's see, we got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 paragraphs, and they're pretty long ones. Okay, holy shit. Well, I'm going to read it. Hashtag potato. Hey there, Necro. It's been a while since I've commented, but after seeing last week's PotatoCast, I had to comment about it. I know what it's like to lose a very close friend. I had known a person since childhood, really, and me and her go way back, and we had known each other for so long that we were inseparable. But 3 years ago, she started to act differently by separating herself from our old group of friends. And when I would try to talk to her about what's going on, she won't to talk about it, which I understand. Sometimes people don't want to talk about what's bothering them, so people don't worry. We went a good couple months without seeing or talking to each other because she told me she wanted some space, which I respected and had no problem with. I had my own theories about what was going on at the time. I guess it was a mixture of depression and loneliness. I felt worried about her for those few months, and it was hard at first to not talk to her as we talked every day, but after a while I felt that feeling less and less as I tried to take my mind off it, at least for a little while, as I have my own depression to deal with. Then, after about 4 months passed, she texted me out of the blue during the day and said, I'm not the same friend I was and how I've changed from who I was. Well, that went in a different direction than I'd expected. Scroll down. At the time, I was completely and totally dumbfounded by this. She texts me out of nowhere and tells me basically how I'm not the same friend I once was, even though she was the one asking for space. I do have anger issues myself, and it's not that I can't control it. It's just that I can only go so far before I have enough. She asked if I can call her, which I did, and we talked on the phone for around an hour or so, and my patience is starting to run dry by this point because I wasn't seeing where she was coming from with these viewpoints and tried to ask her why she felt this way. After she was done talking about me in that way, I sort of lost my way of thinking or blacked out of a conscious way of thinking and started to say my view of the situation. I said how I felt about the whole thing by saying how I felt alienated and betrayed by what she was saying, as I have to be brutally honest with this sort of shit, or that there is no easy way to put this sort of thing. It was in the heat of the moment reaction and a bit uncalled for looking back on it. She hung up after that, and we stopped talking to each other after that, though I felt pity for her and also regret for how I reacted about the whole thing. Tried to talk to her in a neutral environment so we can at least have closure to the whole situation and move on from it. Friends or not didn't matter. At this point, for me, I was past the point of trying to be friends with her again, but that didn't end up going over too well as she didn't show up and left the whole thing open-ended. I have my theories about this, but I want to continue reading it before I make my comment. Personally, looking back on it, I don't feel bad for letting this person go. On one hand, I felt I had stressed all my options and tried to mend tides with this person. Though on the other side of that coin, since there was never that closure for it, I feel bad about the whole thing, even still to this day, even with talking to my therapist about it. That feeling is there still from time to time, much like my slum of depression since 2012, though that is something else entirely, and it would make this comment/rant even longer. Lol. But to sum up what I'm trying to say is I feel you made the right decision cutting this person off from you. It's like an analogy I've heard before. This person is drowning you, and you try to pull them out, but when they start to pull you under, you cut them loose. That's a good analogy. I've seen people go down that same rabbit hole, and it always leads to some fucked up bullshit. In my opinion, when it comes to politics, I don't really care. You're awfully privileged to be able to not care about politics, because that means that you feel that it doesn't affect you. So, all I can say is that when you sit there, and I just have to say this, when you sit there and you say, I don't care about politics, to me that says, if it doesn't affect you, then you don't care about it. But there's a lot of things going on right now that affect a lot of people, and not me particularly, but a lot of people that are very near and dear to me, and I have to care about politics because there's a lot of people in my life that feel that their lives are in danger just for being who they are. So, yeah, and then I can't be in a position where I'm trying to have this person in my life as like a personal project, you know what I mean? Like to try and cure them of this alt-right disease. So, I can't be that guy because, then when all the rest of my friends are like, oh my God, how can you even talk to this person? Do you realize what they're saying on Twitter? Do you realize what kind of shit they're retweeting? And let me tell you something, I don't know if it's gotten better or worse, but I it doesn't matter at this point because, like I said, when somebody has a political view that's basically saying that I'm going to estimate about 75% of my friends would basically be exterminated, because that's what it leads to. That's what this political ideology leads to. I can't tolerate that, and I can't pretend that I don't care about it or that I could look past that. So it's not only something that I'm doing for myself, cutting this person out. It's something that I'm doing for all my friends that are hurt just by this person's mere presence. Because when you're around somebody, even if they're not, like coming at you in any way, just imagine being in the same in the same room as someone who would not necessarily want to see you dead, but would support politics that would lead to your death. So that's what I have to say about that. But let me finish where you were. I did go off on a rant there, but let me see if I can pick up where I left off on your comment. Let's see. More in the middle and look at both sides. As to me, that's the most accurate way to judge these kinds of things. Well, I'm kind of in the middle of politics too, but you have to look at both sides, but you also have to know when to reject something. And that's usually important. There's a difference between being a centrist and being a moderate, because I'm a moderate. And what a moderate means is that you take, you don't necessarily believe wholeheartedly in the right side or the left side. You sort of take things from both. A centrist is someone who's like, oh, guys, can't we all just get along? That doesn't work. And I'll tell you that why. Because we have been more and more polarized over the last few years. And when you sit, when one side is saying, kill the motherfuckers on the other side of the fence, you can't say, oh, well, that's his opinion. That's a valid opinion. Because then you're basically siding with them. You know what I mean? Even if you say you're not. Where was I? Saying an extreme version of something is terrible, left or right, it doesn't matter. It's always just toxic and no one wants to be around it. Just to wrap things up here on a more positive ending, okay, you know what? Before we get to your positive ending, I'm going to comment on your friend because I could be way off base on this because I don't know her situation or anything. But have you considered that perhaps this girl might be in a bad relationship? I don't know if she is or isn't, but everything that you've told me about the way that she sort of stopped talking and kind of drew back from the friendship and then basically called you up and told you that you ain't shit randomly out of nowhere and with no basis to it, from what I'm hearing. This to me has all the hallmarks of somebody whose boyfriend or husband or whatever is telling them, I don't like you having a male friend that you talk to every day. I don't want you to be around them. It sounds like they're dealing with something really bad. I could be way off base on this, but that's the first thing that jumped to my head. Is it sounds like she's pushing you away because she's being told to. And you might be thinking, well, why would she do that? And sometimes people get into these sorts of fucked up relationships where one person completely dominates them, and sometimes they don't know how to get out of it, Now, I don't know if that's the case. You didn't mention anything about her having like a boyfriend or anything like that, but just off the top of my head, it sounds like there's a third party involved that's jealous, And if you're looking for the... good God, the text I just got. I'll tell you about the text I just got in a second. If you're kind of looking for the reason, you're trying to searching for it, I would recommend, you said you were a very close friend with her. And it doesn't sound like she did anything too terrible to you, to be honest with you. It doesn't sound like the situation I'm in where this person just became a shitbag, you know what I mean? if you want to salvage this, and that's a big if, because if you don't want to salvage this, that's perfectly fine. That's up to you, and nobody, least of all me, would judge you for that. You know what I mean? But if you were interested in this, I would try to find out through maybe a mutual friend, like maybe somebody that's still friends with her, you know, what the deal is, you know. But that's sort of like my 2 cents and my interpretation of what you said, but of course only looking at just your side of it and without the knowledge of any third parties that may be involved. I could be way off on this, and you know. Let me read your last paragraph. Just to wrap things up here on a more positive ending, lol. Really love those videos with Bobby playing some of the classic PC games. Those are really funny and adorable at the same time, and I hope there are more to come. Yeah, I plan on doing more. And Happy New Year's as well. Here's something 2019 is a little better than 2018, because, I mean, sweet Jesus H. Christ riding a merry-go-round singing What Shall We Do with a Drunken Sailor while sucking on a giant ogre monster cocks while getting fucked by the Terminator with a long rusty schlong was 2018 a real dumpster fire of a year. I can't wait to see what's going to happen with the audio play you're making. Love the idea. Can't wait for it to come out, and hope to attempt at it as well, possibly. Well, you know, like I said, all you gotta do is be in the Discord server. Sorry about how long this comment is. Dude, I like long comments. Everybody leaves these long comments, and they always say, I'm sorry it's so long. And I always say it's no big deal, and you guys still apologize. But I go on rants from time to time, and most of the time they don't make any sense, lol. And terribly sorry if this was annoying and boring to read through entirely. Take care, man. I'll see you on the Discord server. Definitely, man. Like I said, I hope I was able to shed a little light on that, or I could just be farting in the wind. I really don't know. Let me tell you about the text I just got. Oh my god. And this actually kind of started the other day when I was on Twitch, which is what this video is going to be about, where I was Twitch streaming during the day, and I told my mom, I said, look, I'm going to be live streaming, so if you need me for anything, or if you need me to help with that or anything, just text me and I'll be there. And so I got a text in the middle of the live stream, and good Lord. I don't know what to say to this person. Yeah, I was like, let me check this just in case it's important. And then I was like, oh, that's actually my dog's therapist. That's the level of pet owner that I'm at right now, where my dog has a therapist. I don't have a therapist. My dogs have therapists. So anyway, yeah, we hired this girl, a woman, not really a girl. She's older than I am, but she's a dog therapist, and she was really good. She came to the house. She really helped us out with the 2 boys, like just really. And we paid her my check. And she said when she was at the house, it might take her a little while to cash the check. So just, know that. And she kept not cashing it, And my mom would send these text messages like, hey, you still haven't cashed the check, And my dad started to get really annoyed about it. He kept asking, has she cashed the check yet? Has she? And he gets like really annoyed about these things, like it fucking matters that much. You know what I mean? So then eventually my mother started to say, like, oh yeah, she cashed it, but she didn't. She just lied to my dad so that he would not be stressed out about it, because the last thing he fucking needs is to be stressed out about some shit that doesn't matter. But this was in August, and it's now January, and she still hasn't cashed it. So I said, look. I said this time, do you want me to text her? Because I feel like you're not getting a reply, and I know how to talk to this woman. I can get a message at her. All you got to do to get her attention is send her pictures of your dogs, and all of a sudden you got her attention, So I sent the pictures of Gunny and Gibbs. I gave an update on how they're doing and everything, and when we want to do the next, session with her. And then at the end I mentioned, by the way, you haven't cashed the check. And she messaged me back, during this Twitch stream. So that's what that was. But she messaged me like literally just now. She lost the check. That's why she hasn't. So she technically hasn't been paid, and she's lost this check. I don't know what to say to her. I'm going to have to show that to my mom, because it's not my check. I was just being the go-between because she answers me on Facebook. Yeah, so sorry about that. So, I'm getting into the whole Twitch streaming thing. So, my triumphant return to Twitch. I said Twitch. So recently, I've been going on Twitch a lot and watching people stream. I've been trying to support my friend Armageddon Time, who is, I don't know if you could really say, like, Armageddon Time is really not even a YouTuber anymore. He's a Twitch streamer now, it seems. I don't think he's uploaded anything to his... I'm actually going to look right now. I want to see when the last time he put anything up on his YouTube. Let's see. Armageddon Time. Oh, I'm getting results for the Clash. That's not what I want. This is annoying. Oh, there he is. So, when was the last time that he put a video up? 8 months ago. Wow. 8 months ago. He put up 4 videos. And then before that, it was a year ago. So he's been mostly living on Twitch. So I've been trying to support him. And then there's this other Twitch streamer kid by the name of Kyle. His name's tsparkle99 on Twitch. And he actually started streaming Sanctus Mortem. So, of course, I showed up to watch him play Sanctus Mortem, because it's a game that I was involved with. Tanya can't always be there, So I was like, it's kind of my job to watch Let's Plays and Twitch streams and get feedback from directly from the community on these games and then pass these messages on to Tanya and whatnot. And this kid has a really, pretty chill Twitch. I started enjoying his content, started watching him play things other than that. And I'm also watching my other friend from YouTube, Newfie has been Twitch streaming recently. And I thought, I used to do these Twitch streams like a long time ago where I would just basically like once a month or so, I would announce I'm doing a stream, and it would be like this big event where everybody would be looking forward to it, and it would be like almost like a countdown, and then I would stream for like 10 to 12 hours, and it was this big thing with like loads and loads of people there. And I'm realizing that I can't do that anymore. Just like I physically can't. And I tried to cut back and do it where I was still streaming on a regular basis, but not doing it, only doing it for like, I'll say only 4 or 5 hours, that kind of thing. But I just don't have the time for that. So what I decided to do, like, I'm watching Kyle stream and I'm like, I can do this. You know what I mean? And I thought to do it more casually. And I realized that I'm like a dick hair away from being a Twitch affiliate. I just need to stream a few times. You know what I mean? So I started streaming. Some of you guys may have seen it. And I want to let you guys know that in every video that I put out, there are links in the description, not just to the Discord channel, but to my Twitter, my Facebook, and my Twitch. And I'm going to tell you guys that I am now, from now on, planning on streaming on Twitch several times a week. Okay, it's not going to be long streams for hours and hours where we do like several different games, but I'm actually going to go to my Twitch now and just sort of give you an idea of what I'm talking about. So let me go over to Twitch. I will go over to my channel. Here we are. Why is this? I gotta click this. Okay. So anyway, I decided to just kind of make a comeback, and I started out. I did a little Muramasa. Now, Muramasa is a game on the Wii that I have been Let's Playing. I've been recording a Let's Play for the future, but I said, why don't I just stream a little bit of the Let's Play? You guys can see it ahead of time. I actually streamed for 3 hours there, and then I was streaming Pokemon Randomized Nuzlocke Let's Fail Challenge, where you guys are watching Gold, but in the recording, I'm up to Fire Red. So that's something that I did a few episodes of that. I also did a Pokemon Showdown stream. I did a few more Muramasa and Fire Red streams. And recently, today, I decided to... There are certain games that I've always wanted to sort of play that I figured would be a good idea to do on Twitch, not so much on YouTube. There are certain games that I feel are more suited for streaming than for Let's Playing. So I started Pokemon Insurgents today, which is a fan-made Pokemon game made in the RPG Maker engine. That is a very difficult game with all sorts of cool features and whatnot. I just started playing that today. And another game that I want to play on Twitch is AM2R, which is another Metroid 2 remake. Now, of course, I'm going to eventually do a Let's Play of Metroid 2. And if you're thinking, well, you haven't done Metroid 1 yet. Yes, I have, and if you were on the Discord server, you'd know my schedule. But anyway, and yeah, there's like 1 or 2 videos on the Metroid Let's Play where you'll see that I was just drunk off my ass. It was pretty funny. But anyway, yeah, like AM2R, because I plan on doing like the regular Metroid 2 and maybe even the 3DS remake at some point. But the fan-made remake is something that I feel is more suitable to Twitch. So there are just some games that I just feel would work only on YouTube and not so much on Twitch. And then there's some games that I feel would work on both. And then there's some games that I feel would really only work on Twitch and not so much on YouTube. So basically, I'm not going to have like a set schedule, but if you want to know when I'm going to stream, the best thing to do is to follow me on Twitch or come on the Discord server, because I will almost always say, hey guys, I'm probably going to stream today or something like that, or I'll probably stream tomorrow. Like I streamed today for, how long did I play? A Pokemon Insurgence, I played it for just under 2 hours, you know. Murmasa, yesterday I played it for 2.5 hours. The day before that I played Pokemon Fire Red for like 1 hour and 20 minutes. So you see, it's kind of varying, but they're never like super long. I think the longest one I did was like 3 hours long. But that's because there were 2 streams that I did were 3 hours long because I was recording several episodes of a Let's Play in a row. And I said, you know what? Why don't I double dip here? I'm recording the YouTube video, but I could also live stream it at the same time. And if you guys miss these, you could watch the VODs, which are videos on demand, on my Twitch channel. They're up there for about a week before they vanish. Or you can just wait for them to come to YouTube. Now, not all of these are going to come to YouTube in the same form. I want to let you guys know. The Murmasa stuff, that's a Let's Play. It was only random middle parts of it that were on Twitch, so it doesn't start on Twitch. It may end on Twitch. I don't know. We'll see what happens. You guys know the Fire Red Randomized Nuzlocke Let's Fail Challenge. That's kind of way out the gate. We're up to gold. There's still silver, crystal, ruby, sapphire, and emerald before that. You know, I've recorded all those already. The Pokemon Showdown stuff, I'm probably not going to put that on YouTube. Like I've put videos of Pokemon Showdown on YouTube, and people never really got that much into it. So if you were into the Pokemon Showdown content, by the way, come to the Discord channel, because instead of watching videos, I often will post links to the replays where you can watch them yourself, you know, at any speed you want or whatever. And yeah, that's another reason to come on the Discord if you want that. But I will still do Showdown streams occasionally, and I will accept challenges from people in the audience, of course. The Pokemon Insurgence stuff will probably be uploaded to Twitch once it's finished. I'll upload it in like a batch, you know what I mean? As like a Let's Play that was on Twitch, but now it's on YouTube sort of thing. But then there might be like stuff that I just randomly do on Twitch. Like I might stream Binding of Isaac. I might stream Civilization. I might stream Doom WODs. You know what I mean? It really is just one of those things where I might stream anything. So I just wanted to let you guys know that I have returned to Twitch. It's hopefully a very triumphant return. And I'm, like I said, I'm like a wispy foreskin away from being a Twitch affiliate. And maybe I can actually make a little money off of this, because YouTube doesn't pay for shit these days, which is fine. I'm not hating on them, you know what I mean? They recently made like a really tone-deaf decision to get rid of auto shares to Twitter and Google+, which I completely know exactly why they do it, but it's still tone-deaf. I think I left them a comment on their announcement thread. I said it's more tone-deaf than zombie sneak attack fans. But yeah, that's the announcement. That's what's going on. So twitch.tv/NecroVMX. I'm not at all scaling back YouTube in favor of Twitch. I'm expanding to Twitch, okay? And a lot of what I'm doing on Twitch is stuff that I'm already doing for YouTube, you guys just to get to see it early. Now, I'm not, like I said, some of it's going to be Let's Plays like Pokemon Insurgence and AM2R, another Metroid 2 remake, are going to be things that I'm doing on Twitch and then later YouTube. But some of them are things that I'm doing for YouTube, and random parts of it will just be on Twitch. You don't get to watch the whole thing on Twitch. Because like I said, I already had a whole bunch of Murmasa videos in the can before I said, hey, let's do a few on Twitch. And then I stopped, and then I did a few that were not on Twitch, and then I did a few that were on Twitch. Same thing with Pokemon Fire Red, So I just want to let you guys know about that, and hope that you come to my Twitch, give me a follow, and hey, when I become an affiliate, maybe you can even subscribe to me. But yeah, I'm gonna stop right here. It's been a long thing. Actually, wait, one last thing. It's January 17th right now. You know what that means? We're getting close to February, and yes, there is a movie review feature coming up. And if you want to know what it is, come ask me on Discord, because I'm not saying it here. I think a lot of you guys already know what it is. Anyway, see you next time. VMX out.